What's going on, guys? It's Grant or G Miners here. Today we're going over the second encounter in the Garden of Salvation raid. This encounter can be broken up into three very simple parts. Part 1 is linking at each of the 4 confluxes to activate the teleporters. Part 2 is maintaining the enlightened buff to kill enlightened enemies. And Part 3 is defeating angelics to unlock tether boxes, which are used for linking and gaining the enlightened buff. 4 players on your team will be responsible for defending their own plate or conflux. The other 2 players will rotate between these confluxes eventually to help refresh the enlightened buff. Enlightened enemies will spawn at each conflux throughout the encounter in an attempt to sacrifice. These enemies contain white overshields, which can only be destroyed by players with the enlightened buff. To receive this buff, players must link the tether box to the conflux at the plate they are defending. Boxes can be found at each conflux in the middle lane. This linking process, however, requires 2 players, which is why there are players designated to rotating between the plates. In the beginning of the encounter, players will all spawn at the same home conflux and must work their way around the arena to reach their own confluxes to defend them. Upon reaching a conflux, 2 barrier hobgoblins and an angelic will spawn. Angelics will lock the tether box located at the conflux that they spawn at. Before linking to the conflux for the first time, these angelics will need to be defeated. This is the route that I suggest teams take to reach the confluxes as quickly as possible. At the start, 2 players will stay at the home conflux, kill the angelic, and link the tether box to the conflux. 2 players will go down the left lane, reach the left conflux, kill the angelic and hobgoblins, and link the left conflux. The 2 remaining players will go down the lane to the right and do the same thing at the right conflux. Once all 3 confluxes are linked, 1 player from the left conflux and 1 player from the right conflux should meet at the back conflux to link it. Once done, all 4 confluxes will be linked. Rotating players can now use the teleporters shown on screen to quickly teleport between the confluxes and help refresh the defending player's enlightened buff. Once again, buffs are refreshed by linking the tether box to the conflux. Now that all 4 confluxes have been activated and are being defended, 1 conflux will randomly spawn 3 angelics. These angelics will lock the tether box to prevent the defender from refreshing their enlightened buff. Kill all 3 angelics to unlock the box again and refresh the buff. This process will happen 1 conflux at a time randomly to each of the 4 confluxes. Upon killing the last set of angelics, the middle of the arena will open up and players must leave their conflux to go defend 1 final conflux as a team. This conflux will also have a tether box. Use this tether box to give your team the enlightened buff. However, angelics will spawn in waves to lock your box. They spawn in the horizontal and vertical lanes, not the diagonal lanes, relative to the tether box. After killing the 3rd and final wave of angelics at this central conflux, you will complete the encounter.